That's good.
Okay. Hello, I'm Edith Doove. I'm the curator of the art project Covers for the World. This project was initiated by the Belgian artist Pierre Mertens, who's also the founder of the organization Child Help International, which supports children with spina bifida and hydrocephalus in the global south. And on Wednesday, 3 December, Covers for the World will be presented during the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, when we open the 16th House of Hope and the Share Global Center for Accessible Care of Child Help International in Moshi, Tanzania. And as part of the art project, we have invited several local Tanzanian artists to participate. And I'm really happy that one of these artists, Lilian Munuo, if I pronounce it correctly, is joining me today. Hello, Lilian. So, Lilian, you describe yourself just like Pierre Mertens, actually, as an art activist. Can you explain what you mean with that?
I am really happy to be here today. And yes, I'm an activist. I use art as a voice. For me, art is a voice that I'm able to express myself. I am also a person with disability. And for a very long time, I've used art as a source of me to be able to voice out myself, just anything. And I'm also using art as an instrument of creating awareness on disability issues with an initiative that I started, which is Beyond the Label, where we're redefining disability through arts, where we're empowering people with disability with artistic skills for self-expression, and we later create exhibitions with those artworks. And me, myself, I'm an artist. My art is mostly centered on hope, and it is also on activism, because while I'm also raising hope, or I'm talking about hope, I'm also talking about different challenges that I am facing as a person with disability, and how can we create change and all those stuffs. And I am a multidisciplinary visual artist, so one of the mediums that I use is strings, nails, and literally just any material that I find can be able to tell my story or add to my story. So me describing myself as an art and activist, I would say that is how I describe myself.
Yeah, wonderful, which really connects very well with what we try to do during this day. And you talk about the fact that you used strings last year, September rather. You made the exhibition Strings of Hope, and we will include a link to that video in the description. Can you tell us a bit more about that exhibition?
So for a starter, Strings of Hope, if the full name is Strings of Hope, A Journey Unveiled. It was an it was part of a grant that I got from the Goethe Institute on Immersive Visions, exploring different dimensions in art. And I remember while applying for that grant, one thing that I always had in mind, because before doing Strings of Hope, I used to do strings as mixed medium on the board. But then I always imagined strings in an open space. But I wanted to tell my story. And for me, it was the story of how strings gave me hope. It was a really profound journey for me, because it was at the time when I finished my diploma in finance and banking, and I couldn't get any jobs being a person with disability. And I remember walking into an office and I saw an arrow with strings, and I was like, wow, really, really. And for me, I feel that was a journey for me, because at that moment, those strings that I saw gave me hope. I started creating string works, because I've always been doing art. I do pencil art, and I'm a self-taught artist. And I remember seeing that, and I went home. I was like, I wanted to try it. And just one artwork led to another, and led to a point where I was like, I'm applying for this grant right now. So it was strings that gave me hope. And I wanted to share that journey of resilience, if you look at the video, you see an artwork of sunshine's embrace, of boxes stepping out of comfort zone. It was an exhibition more on that journey. So for me, that was Strings of Hope.
Yeah, fantastic. It's a really beautiful work, and we hope to maybe show part of that also on the day of 3 December. But one of the, well, part of the art project is the decolonizing reinterpretation of Picasso's La Demoiselle d'Avillon. Pierre Mertens made an earlier version for the Biennial of East Africa with artists based in Europe. But in this case, for this version, he thought it was really important to fully hand this project over to local Tanzanian artists amongst you. And he has divided the painting in 4, as he did before, for the first version. And each of you has chosen a part on which you will work and which we will present on the 3rd of December. So can you tell us already a bit about what you're going to do without, I mean, I know you're busy working on it, so maybe give a glimpse of what you do.
Actually, for me, first hearing the idea of decolonization of that of art, and this, especially, you know, taking it from Picasso and bringing it to the African, and the idea of Picasso using African mask, and now we get to use our ideas or our thoughts to put on also on Picasso's artwork, like the way he used African masks on the on that artwork. Actually, for me, it is actually a really profound idea, and it is really magnificent. And one way I'm also working on it is also going back to me using strings and nails. I'll be using strings and nails.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I just want to talk about how our history, especially for some African countries, I mean, for me, specifically Tanzanian, how history is important to us, and how it is also important for us to know about our history, which was much taken during colonization.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I'll be much more based on that idea of, it's more of me raising a voice on how our history means so much to us, and also some of the experiences that I've gotten and I've read and I've seen. I've seen an exhibition about, it was about womanhood, but it was more based on Chaga women and the clothes that they wear. And I recently did a project in the Hadzabe and Datoga tribes, which are indigenous tribes in Tanzania. And from the Datoga tribe, I saw women wearing skirts, and I really loved the skirts. And then after that experience, I go online and I see that exhibition, and what Chaga women were wearing was the same as the Datoga women, which is something I never knew. And when you ask me about the history of Chaga and our history before colonization or just anything, I literally know nothing about it because of colonization. So I just want to much more based on that. Like, I want to tell my story or retell my story or her story right now.
Yeah.
In contrast to that.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely great, and I really look forward to seeing the finished work and collaborating with you for the exhibition on the 3rd of December. So thank you very much, Lilian, and see you soon.
You.
Bye bye.
Thank you, and see you. Bye bye.